The gyms are still closed, so we can blame home workouts like this one on a global power that conceals the extent of the damage it's caused. I'm of course referring to CrossFit. Calling those good reps when she cheated them would be like attributing a CrossFitter's death to Rona when it was caused by rhabdo. Hitting the wall isn't new to her, that's why people turn to CrossFit in the first place. I'm all for staying active during lockdown, but hanging with a suicide grip makes her self-care look like self-checkout. You're not performing more work by kipping, you're just trying to fool other novices into thinking you are. If I wanted to see scrubs pretend to be productive, I'd watch nurses dance on TikTok. The pandemic has turned many into germaphobes. Too bad quarantine won't get them to clean up their garbage form. A side angle would have been more revealing, but you can't even hide such terrible deadlifting form head on. He most def looks like that black cat on both sides because his spine's so round that you can see it from the front. When you train at home, you have all the privacy in the world. You can make it so nobody knows what a clown you are. Publicly posting your lifting fails anyway basically says get at me, and that backgrounding says retract me. He thought he was strong like a rhino beetle, but wound up rolling and eating shit like a dung beetle. That guy's failed lift is like a drained bank account. You expect a stimulus, but all you see is the insufficient balance. One of the few things dumber than hitting the anabolic window post-workout is hitting the bedroom window intra-workout. Stay Home Hub's free premium subscriptions might have ended, but it still costs nothing to see women walk funny from excessive poundage in the bedroom. She was supposed to break the parallel plane, not the perpendicular pane. She wound up squatting ass to glass like a butt plug. Put on extra padding so you don't bruise. Sleep with extra blankets so you don't freeze. Pick both. This is what happens when you stumble without a rack or a stand. I'm sure this costly mistake taught her to set up a support system. From the looks of her and the simps on the original video, that support system will be OnlyFans. A white picket fence represents the ideal American life, unless it's fencing off a retard's house. He broke that little chair with his girly weight like Goldilocks. If that bar landed on his head, then his brain would have gotten its first and last crease. His cause of death would be execution by chair. Going from incline to decline bench because he acted without thinking brings new meaning to mechanical drop set. Benching with an arch doesn't mean that the bench should arch too. I look forward to his interpretation of disinfecting the lungs. He actually sat in that cheap furniture and thought it could handle even more weight. His inability to learn means that his chair is more plastic than his brain, but just as deformed. If he keeps this up, then that won't be the last time he wears a belt when he takes a seat and rolls around. A lot of you bought weight sets because you missed the iron, but when you secure the bag and not your dumbbells, the iron won't miss you. When sporting goods stores call those quick-release collars, this is not what they mean. He unloaded so many rounds into his own head that he was almost added to Clinton's body count. If you're going to wear your sister's tights, at least take care of them. A ventilator is supposed to help you breathe into your lungs, not your balls. He put on so much supportive equipment and he doesn't even have a lift to show for it. All this headcase in women's clothes did was air out his nuts for a childish pursuit. Where does he think he is, Drag Queen Story Hour? His skull crushers could have left a hole in his head as big as the one in his nut huggers. The next time he gets carried away, it might be by Tyrone the fitness addict and friends, on behalf of all ego lifters who stay at home, quarantine or not. People who can't keep themselves safe from injuries are probably bad at keeping themselves safe from germs too. Hopefully, these home gym idiots, left to their own devices, will sterilize themselves.
0!
Like the video and subscribe to the channel, now.